Good evening, Sports Friends viewers. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Sports Friends the podcast. I'm your host, Levon, and with me at this time of the evening, I have Devin, I have Wally, I have Kems, Ryan, and Chris. And this is the Emancipation edition of Sports Frenzy. So, guys, a lot of track and field action has been going on. Very entertaining, I should say, and some sort of disappointment as well. Should I start on the high or should I start on the low? Because there have been a lot of low.
Low. Start low first, man. Start low first.
That is where I'm going to start this time around because the other day we started at the high, so I have to start with the low. And first up, I want to take out a leather belt and strap Shanika Ricketts from here to halfway tree. Honestly, I had her shooing for a medal. Came the final, she failed to deliver, and I heard that they were using fast track as an excuse. How is it that Yulimar Rojas was able to maneuver her way around that and get a world record, right? The girl that finished second, she also jumped a national record and a PB of 15.01. And also the one that finished third also jumped a PB. That leads me to think that, okay, this is the same Shanika Ricketts that we have been hearing lots of things about in training, that she has been jumping consistently over 15 meters. So why is it that when it matters most on the biggest of stages, she couldn't replicate a performance that she has been doing in training? Yes, people might say, oh, different conditions, the pressure. But then again, if you look at it, there was nobody inside the stadium. So it's in front of an empty stadium. So I mean, there shouldn't be much of a pressure. But for someone that we expected that would have medaled, aren't you disappointed? I'm going to start with Chris.
It's disappointing because you expect a medal from that point of view, but you sound extra disappointed. You sound I am not as disappointed as you, because it's one of those events that you have to have rhythm, and it's not just about what you do in training and replicating it, because it has a lot to do with rhythm and how are you feeling at that time going into the final. It's just one of those events that you can't really put down a medal. No event you can do it, but it's just one of those, like the hurdles. It's just one of those that you need rhythm for, and that's why I'm not so extra disappointed. But I think she should feel like you, because like I say, a lot of people been saying that she's jumping so good in training, over 15 meters, and we expected her to at least get a bronze, like I said.
All right, Wally, do you echo the same sentiment as Chris, or you agree with what I said?
Well, I definitely echo the sentiments. There is a little disappointment, but certainly not to the extent of yourself and Kim's. Just reflecting on the comments you guys made in the thread, and I want you guys to elaborate a little bit on that, because I know Kim's especially said she choked. So I really want him to elaborate on that, because I am in 100% agreement with Chris. The long jump and the triple jump, more so the triple jump, your cadence is very, very important. Especially those events as well as the hurdles. Your cadence is very, very important. And if you are missing that on the day, it can really impact your performance significantly. So even if you are doing very well in training, what is important is being able to replicate that sort of cadence on the day. And in training, you don't have that pressure of foul jumps. You can jump as much as you want. If you get one bad jump, then what it does, it kind of throws you off. Now you start to second guess whether or not your initial stride pattern that you had set up for the jump is correct. You start to second guess yourself, and then you start to reach for the board, and that can throw you off. So I'm in agreement with Chris. It's definitely a rhythm event. I do believe there is some disappointment, but as Chris said, I don't share the disappointment that both yourself and Kim's experience. But I definitely wanted to elaborate, especially Kim's, on why he said she choked, and Levon, why you want a little bit.
I'll definitely elaborate for you. And most definitely, no problem at all. So, all right. So the definition of choke, right? The definition of choke in sporting terms is when you have been performing at a high level all season and you come to the championships and fail. The definition of clutch is when you have been performing subpar and you come to the championships and excel, right? So not only has Ricketts been good in training, but she has been good on the Diamond League circuit as well. She has been good all round, all season long. She has been good. You know, jumping in the top 3, looking good, getting the Jamaican hopes up, right? Now, with the triple jump, Wally, I believe it was her first 2 jumps. Is her first 2 or her first one? She fouled, right? Well, once you do that, you're already psychologically you're already against the 8 ball, because now for your 3rd jump, you're just jumping now to get a mark, right? You're just jumping now to get a mark so that you don't fall, right? But where I say she choked now is just that, Wally, like she has been just.
All right, Kim said chipped out a bit. So the connection and return.
Kim's freeze.
All right. So in terms of why I said that, Wally,
yeah.
she was alluding to, she has been performing excellent on the Diamond League circuit. When I said excellent, I mean that she has been consistently second behind Yulimar Rojas all season long. As a matter of fact, not just this year, probably the last 2 to 3 seasons, she has been second best in the event, right? Now, remember what I just said, The excuse after the loss was that the track was fast, so she had to halter some things, right? Now, why I'm beating her this much is because you're going to use that as an excuse, right? Yet, Rojas, who won the gold medal with a world record jump, never did that. Also, you could add in the 2 girls that I mentioned that came 2nd and 3rd. I believe one is the girl that come 2nd. Yeah, the one that came 2nd is from Portugal, and the one that finished 3rd was from Spain. So if I'm looking at it from that vantage point, wouldn't I actually say that she choked because you were expected to medal in the event? You have been top 2 this event all season long. So if you look at it from that standpoint, definitely she choked right there, boss.
And also, Levon, I was hearing what you were saying about she's saying that the track is fast. Like, I don't like when athletes come with that excuse, because it's not like your track is fast and other people's track is slow. Everyone is on the same level, the same equal level. So when you come with that, you're just showing me that you're just not ready to compete at the highest level. That's what I'm seeing. 4th place, probably somebody else would think that is good, but based on her performance, and I've talked about pattern behavior all the time. Based on the pattern that she has led us to believe that she is one of the top 3 jumpers, we are expecting a medal. We're booking a medal. We're penciling a medal. And the fact that she didn't achieve that, I definitely have to say she choked. Good, clap. You come 4th, but in terms of where we predicted you to come, that was definitely a choke job.
Well,
Devin,
so,
you can chime in now.
No, like you and Ken, y'all don't sound disappointed. Y'all sound bitter. Why y'all so bitter, man? Come on, man. Calm down, man. The young man. For me, I don't see this choke. I'm not disappointed. I'm just happy that she was in the final. I understand the argument that you're building, and I'm not knocking out argument, because your argument is your argument that based on her performance in the Diamond League and what she has been doing, at least a medal was expected. But I see it differently. I just see there's something normal in sports where she just didn't perform as she was expected to. And I don't want to jump the guns and to go to another
Devin.
That the host may say, I like to use my favorite term, comparatively. Comparatively, I am disappointed with Jackson as opposed to Ricketts.
All right, Devin.
Hold on. Don't get into Jackson.
That's what I'm saying. I'll leave on that.
Devin, I have a question. Devin, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
You hear me, Devin?
I'm listening. All
right. So check me out, right? You have been you were my accounts teacher at one point in time, right?
I put an adjective to that. Great accounts teacher.
All right, great accounts teacher, right? There was a certain standard that you expected of your students, right? So if your students are doing the coursework and they're doing it well, and when it comes to time for the exam, is a cash pot, 30%, 20%. Wouldn't you be disappointed in a situation like that?
Well, I'm going to go back to one of my favorite words. I mean, the doctor is here. Mentally, students can have a breakdown when it come on to, like, you know, examination, and same thing when it come on to the biggest stage, because I think this is the biggest stage. Even though the Diamond League and all that putting money in your pocket, the biggest stage is the Olympics. Not even the World Championship. The biggest stage is the Olympics. So I think something mentally may have happened. I know the excuse about I agree with you, Levon. The excuse about fast track, nah, throw that through the window. But I don't know what happened. I'm not trying to make an excuse for her, but I'm not disappointed. She just probably never have the best day. That's all there is to it.
All right,
Yeah,
so I'm going to add in one more thing. I'm going to draw another parallel. So Devin, all right, you have, say for instance, Elaine Thompson or Shelly Fraser-Pryce, who has been consistently top 3 all season long, right? Now, both ladies come into the 100-meter final, and they came, say, 4th, 5th, thereabouts. Neither of them medal. You're telling me that you'll actually be satisfied that both ladies made the final?
Sorry, if I said that I would be satisfied with what? Sorry.
All right, so I'm asking you.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
So let's look at it from this standpoint. Shelly Fraser-Pryce and Elaine Thompson both came into the 100 meters, say top 3 all season long, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then when it came to the final, all they did was finish 4th or 5th. You're going to tell me that you're actually satisfied with that performance by both athletes?
In comparison, again, I have to answer by using a comparison. Comparing Ricketts to Elaine and Fraser-Pryce, I'm more expecting a medal from Elaine and Fraser-Pryce as opposed to Ricketts. So
No, Devin. All right. Devin, look no further. Devin, look no further than Dr. Shakes, you know. Remember, you know, Dr. Shakes was the same one who come and say Elaine choke. Well, she came 4th at the World Championships, I believe, and Dr. Shakes said that she choked. So we're not comparing Elaine and Ricketts. We are comparing the standard that they have set for us to believe.
Well, I still don't see that as a choking act. And the question that you answer more specifically, Levon, if it was Elaine come 4th or come 5th, I still wouldn't be utterly disappointed or as bitter as you guys don't.
Oh, come on, Devin. You're just
you guys don't beat them, man. No. I would just tell you they're Jamaicans. They made the final.
You got foreign and get soft, man.
All right. I'm going to bring in Ryan now. Ryan, your take on this?
I agree with both sides, and here's why. She was nailed on to come 3rd. Basically nailed on. We can agree that she was within that bracket to get a medal. And I think she was in the 3rd position up till the last jump, if I'm correct. Right?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah.
You hear me?
Yeah, man, hearing you.
Yeah. Based on what I'm trying to remember, I think she was in the 3rd position until like the last jump, and then thereafter she got passed into 4th. So I was a bit disappointed by that. That can be considered a choke, but it's not something that I would beat her for. It's not like she was a favorite to get a gold or a silver and she come 5th.
She was a favorite to get the silver, actually, Ryan. Don't try to soften it up. She was the favorite to get the silver medal.
Yeah, she actually was the favorite to get the silver medal. Jamaicans are giving her bronze.
I thought she was favorite for bronze.
Nah, for the silver.
Rojas was better than her. Listen, Ryan, stick up in Ryan. You know that had she gotten a bronze, I would still be disappointed. You know why?
Really?
I expected her to get the silver medal. That's what I had her shooting for that medal.
All right, sorry, Levon, remind me of the distance for the silver medal again.
15.01.
And what was her best jump for the season, for leading up to the Olympics?
Oh, the girl that came second?
No, Ricketts.
14.98.
Exactly. So how would you be disappointed when she didn't jump further than that mark that came second?
All right, why she never jumped 14.98 then?
Come on, Chris. Elevate the reasoning, Chris. This girl has been Let her repeat it for you.
You didn't answer the question. You just comment again. Just
Listen,
pose in
boss.
the next question.
Listen, boss. I'm not asking a question. I'm going to make a statement. She has been consistently jumping over 15 meters in training. This is something that is well known. Even reporters.
That is training, obviously, Levon.
No, boss, man. Reporters in Japan reported it back to Jamaica, and also you're telling me that a girl that has never jumped over 14.9 and jumped 15.01. You're telling me that Shanika Ricketts couldn't be in better shape than that girl to actually jump better.
Exactly. Come on, I don't find too much excuse for underperformance.
Listen,
Underperformance
Chris.
get beaten.
She came into the event and she not even jumped her PB. Not even her PB that she did that.
Yeah, at least be a PB. Be a personal best friend, at
Beat
least.
her for that. Beat her for that, but don't beat her not to replicate what she do in training. Beat her for the PB.
And this is where I'm going to bring in Shakes. Shakes, come in.
Boy, I've been listening to you guys and you guys are funny. Funny. Listen, all right. So let me give you the perspective of the coach. Prior to going to the Olympic Games, Kerry Lee Ricketts actually predicted that on the day, if Yilmar Rojas is not careful, Shanika Ricketts will actually jump further than her and claim the gold medal. I would advise you guys to go back and read the Jamaica Observer because those were his words, not mine.
What would you expect your wife,
Chris,
that is your coach, to tell me about
Chris,
it?
Chris, calm down. Not only that, any logical person would realize that Shanika Ricketts has been a consistent, that is the word, consistent jumper for the past 2 seasons, right? She has either been first or second almost every time she is jumping on the circuit. No, okay, let's take out Yilmar Rojas out of the triple jump, right? Because this girl is from another galaxy. So we cannot use her. She's basically like Usain Bolt. So you can't compare her to the other athletes. So it's simple. Logically, looking at Shanika Ricketts, she is basically the best jumper in the world consistently. When you take out the person that is from the other galaxy, right? Therefore, not only that, coming into the championships, you're still jumping proper. Her season's best was the 14.98. Now, it is expected of you that if you've been consistent, you are likely to go in and around that region, right? And remember, athletes normally peak for the championship. Now, if you are peaking for the championship and you have it in your mind that, okay, to beat Rojas, I have to jump 15 odd. There's no way she's going to be thinking that any 14 point whatever, it don't matter what 14 it is, whether 14.8, 14.9, because you know that Rojas is going to give you a 15 point something. Therefore, that is what you're training for. So at the Olympics, if you get up now and come and you are telling me that the person who is the most consistent person outside of the other lady from another galaxy and she cannot finish on the podium, my God, that has to be a choke job. And not only that, you see what would have been acceptable is if she actually jumped over 15 and at the end of the day, somebody actually come and jump some personal best and do 15 point odd, as in multiple people do that, and you can say, all right, guess what? I can actually be satisfied that, okay, she actually improved on her personal best for this season and still did not get that silver medal or bronze medal. But there's no way you can get up and tell me that this girl come and jump 14.8 odd and she is satisfied, or we should be satisfied with that. No way. And then on top of that, instead of saying, you know what, I have not done my best, right? And I know that I'm going to be disappointed alone. That persons are going to be disappointed. Because guess what? Remember, athletics is a job, We want to perform at our best in whatever area that we work. People forget that, just because sport attainment, right? It don't mean that the people them not doing their work. They want to perform at their 100%, or even if you're not at 100%, even if you fall, you come down to probably 95%. But guess what? Shanika Ricketts at 14.8 odd would not be 95% of her. Why? Because she can do much better, right? And as I said, we are tracking what she has done for the past 2 seasons. It's not somebody that just fly by overnight. It's 2 years.
Hold on a second, Shakes. Let me liberate Chris' argument. So, Patricia Mamona that came second in event, her personal best was 14.66. Not comfortable with man.
So you see, she went to the championship. She went to the championship, trying to peak for the championship and trying to put out even better than what she had done in her life. Right? That is why I'm saying, if I look at the career of Shanika Ricketts, right? Remember, expectation is a hell of a thing. But just because I have expectation, is the same way Shanika going to have expectation, because she wants at least minimum a silver medal, because every single day when she goes in from training, she knows that, hey, guess what? It's really one person that really better than me in the world.
Yes.
Prior to this Olympics, that is what that is what, when she looks in the mirror and she's talking to herself, and she's talking to her coach, and I don't want to hear about because he's husband and ready. Listen, the man is her coach. It don't matter who it is. The man is her coach, and it's that same man, whether or not he's husband or not, has gotten her to that level.
Yes, sir.
So you can't say Chris because the man because he married to her, he's just gonna get up and say no, because even prior to this Olympic game, she has always backed up her ability in the jumps that she does on circuit and at the previous World Championship.
Yes, sir.
So that is what we're using. Yes. So for me, Devin doesn't want to say it's disappointing. Of course it has to be disappointing, because that was a nailed-on medal. Whether you want to say silver or bronze, but it was a nailed-on medal that we did not get. So it has to be a disappointment.
Also, really quickly, Levon, also, Wally and Chris, the argument want to put forward for say, it's the Olympics, and on the day, the athlete might not be prepared. Bad man, we keep on telling you, on the need for raising the standards, right? On the need for raising the standards, because imagine every athlete, Shelley, Ilian, everybody just come and say, well, on the day, I just never have it today. On the day. 4x1 relay come, we just never have it today on the day. 4x4, we just never have it today on the day. There have to become a point where we have a standard for these athletes, where we say, this is a standard that we need to meet, and we won't accept anything less, or else we will always accept mediocrity.
You're creating a highly unlikely probability, though.
All right, Akil Henry, again, it's not that argument is not an argument. Because if all the athletes adjusted to it, I don't see why the second best athlete in the field can do the same.
Yeah, but Levon, not only that, you can't have one person complaining about the speed of a track, right? Whether or not it's true or we don't need to debate whether or not it's true. But the fact of the matter is, in the triple jump, you don't have one jump, you have multiple jumps. Therefore, if you realize that, okay, your rhythm is not right for the first 2 jumps, right? Try get it right on the 3rd jump. Even if you move into the rhythmic balance on that 3rd jump, you can say, all right, you know what? Let me try go now on the 4th jump and something awesome. But the triple jump, any of those jumps, they are not one off. They are not one off, and they are not one off. Yes, and if you actually stop and think about it, running one of the races, you can literally false start one time and you're out of the race completely. Versus the triple jump and the high jump and the long jump, you will get so many chances to actually perform, which is to your advantage.
Yes,
And
sir.
she did not utilize it.
True. But we're going to move on from Shanika because boy, I don't really like disappointment, but there's a lot of disappointment.
Guys, when it's so silent like it's a funeral procession.
Yes, when it's a funeral, if you come out and say what your court said doesn't, I can't argue with you then. How am I going to argue with a man that thinks somebody husband is going to come tell you otherwise? You want me to convince you that your husband will tell you otherwise? I can't convince you about that.
The producer said because they take out the little belt and strap all of them, and that's why they're silent.
Boy.
If someone cannot convince you that your wife may not talk bad about your shakes, how am I going to convince you about it? I can't convince you about nothing.
But Chris, let me ask you this.
You dismiss it in the say, you know I hear it because I'm our coach and don't tell me about
Let me ask you this, Chris. Was there anything wrong with Shanika Ricketts prior to the Olympics?
No.
But don't discuss that shakes already. Oh, you still want to ask me the same thing? I already discussed that. You already discussed that.
Okay,
You stuck there.
Let's move on. Because
you thought she was awesome prior to the Olympics, not true?
Let's move on. Because as I said before, we have a lot of disappointments to get through, so I want to just tick them off one by one. Next up, I want Wally to actually apologize to quite a few of us on this panel and quite a few of our viewers. We came on here and we said that one, Mr. I Am Back, otherwise known as Ewan Blake, will not, and we speak categorically about it, said that he won't make that 100.
Won't make the final. Yes, sir.
We said it and so said, so done. We got cussed out a lot of times, say, oh, no, not this and no, not that and all of that. But guess what? We're just using.
Wally, let me defend you here. Let me defend you, Wally.
Oh man, me have it, man.
Hold on. Let me defend you.
Wally,
let me defend you, Wally.
Wally, go ahead.
Even before you reach Olympics, Wally. Let me defend you. Many of the persons in this group didn't even have Blake to qualify from the Jamaican trials. The man got on the plane to the Olympics and was in the semi-finals. That is all I will say.
Let's move on. Wally, no, it's for you to apologize to say that you won't make it to the final.
No. I will not apologize. I'm not going to allow you and Kims to mislead the honorable viewers of Sports Frenzzyy. First of all, I got no apology from yourself or Kims in 2019 when he made the final. So I said he was making the 100-meter finals in 2019. No, okay, you didn't say that. Don't do it. I said he's making the 100 finals, but not the 200 finals. That's how you will say. Good. That are the first thing. So make we get that out of the way. The second thing is that the other side of the coin is that yourself and Kims both said in no uncertain terms that the medalist will be Bramel and Ronnie Baker.
Oh, come on. Stick up in. Now come with this medal business first. We're dealing with you and Blake.
What you mean? What you mean?
You're trying to jump over the hurdles to get to the medal. Don't do that.
Never, the thing is right. You got yours wrong, so he got his wrong. Move on from it.
No,
want to apologize for?
You are not going to mislead the public.
We are speaking about Jamaican Ewan Blake. Don't try that, Ronnie. It didn't have to work. Come again.
Well tried, Wally. Well tried.
We are
that's deflecting.
Ewan Blake. Address Ewan Blake situation. We said that he won't make the final. Your boy didn't make the final.
And he didn't make the final. It was a disappointment. But the thing is that it was not an unreasonable expectation. Because in 2019 when he made the finals, he looked no worse off time-wise in 2019 than he did this time around. One, and then two, the quality of the field has actually regressed. So those things coming together doesn't
Hold on a
make
second. What did you just say?
that the
I didn't
quality
get
of
what you
the
just
team
said,
has
Wally.
regressed. Has
So,
regressed.
you know
I
what?
didn't
I need
debate
you
that.
to apologize to the panel again
No,
because
I
everybody
didn't
came on here
debate
and said
that.
that the 100 meter field is very poor, and you Wally spent all the night arguing with us that it's not this, it's not that. You need to apologize for that one too.
No.
Getting it.
There was no disagreement from me that
There was
that
one.
there has. Hold on. There was no disagreement from me that there was a regression. What I'm saying is that we have to look at the extent of the regression to determine whether or not where the level is at is poor, right? But back to Blake. What I'm saying is that it was not an unreasonable prediction. It was not an unreasonable prediction. Wrong. I was disappointed. Kems pointed out something in one of the previous podcasts that he indicated that when Johan, well, certainly, and I clarified the point, subsequent to his injury, when he faces good quality competition, he tightens up, and he definitely did. You saw that he was pretty much in the pack at about 40-45 meters, and then when basically he saw the blanket leaving him, you could see him tightening up and regressing. So I think he needs to leave the camp where he is at now, because what we have seen is that
Well, where's the cam?
what we have seen
Wally,
since he has gone
that
to
man don't listen to me, Wally. That man don't need to leave the camp that he's at.
Leave the
That man just should say, okay, I've served Jamaica enough. Let me go out with my what with this? Let me try to find the best possible term that I can use. I'm not even coming up with the perfect word to use,
no,
but it should just actually just go out on a high.
no,
Even though
but
there's no high for him to go out on right
no,
now.
but the quality of the field that is present in the male 100 meter is not something far removed from him to again make the finals and come in the top 5 or 6. When you have persons like Brummel, who basically was the shoo-in for the gold medal according to a lot of pundits, and he didn't even make the final. It really goes to show.
But all right, look here now, though, Wally.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you and Blake ran a 9.95 earlier this season, right?
Mm-hmm.
I said to quite a few people, if I remember correctly, I even said it on here that don't read too much into that 9.95 because you ran it against some nobody. You just said what the reason why I said that, whenever I get competition, that man tend to tie up. So I said it that don't expect you and Blake to run that time again. However, I'm going to go to the argument that you were bringing up earlier on when I said Bramwell would have won the gold medal. I said that based on what he has done all season long. But nobody can come on here and brag about anything else. You know why? Nobody expected that Italian to get nowhere near to that medal. Nobody expected even that Chinese who ran the 9.84 or 83 in the
8-3.
9.83 in the semis to actually run that time. So those guys actually surprised us. Kems now, to defend Kems said that Fred Curley would have gotten a medal in the 100 meter. Kems said that. There it was. Fred Curley got a medal.
Right,
However, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Right. So, but based on the tone of the discussion earlier, then we must say categorically that Brummel and Baker choked.
Of course.
Do we agree? Do we agree with that, Shakes?
111%. They choked.
Brummel choked for who probably weren't watching where Brummel running. Just like Johan, whenever he came up against big competition, he didn't win no race. So if you're going to use Johan, that means you wasn't watching Brummel. He was doing the same thing what Johan was doing. Whenever anybody else was in the race with him, it seems like he was choking.
So you say he didn't replicate that kind of performance.
No, you cannot use the US trials. Everything that happens at Eugene stays in Eugene. Don't use nothing up there.
It's Vegas.
Anything that happens in Eugene stays in Eugene.
I don't agree with that.
Don't use nothing up there.
I can easily throw that argument through the window because Sidney McCakin and Dalila Mohammed are going to run.
You're going to
super
find the
fast.
ad, like everything, Levan. You're going to find the ad. Come on, you're going to find the ad. But anything happening
Don't
in
come
UG
with that.
stays in
I'm
UG.
just trying to show that your argument is flawed. Don't come to me with that.
No man.
Because
What
for the one that they give me, I can give you 5 more with
All
it.
right, producer, come in, producer. What do you have to say?
No, I just want to say to Chris, right? The World Championship will be taking place in UG next year, right? So we don't want to see any excuse from the Jamaicans regarding that track. They all be.
Can you imagine, Josh? Can you imagine? Jamaicans are actually going to get to run on that track free.
Free.
But As I was saying though, Chris, you never heard when I said to Wally that, of course, Ronnie Baker and Trayvon Bramian, they choked. Literally, and not just 100% choked. They choked by 111%. They're actually very awful.
Levon.
You agree with that shit? That they choke?
For Trayvon Bromell?
Yes, and Ronnie Baker.
So Trayvon definitely choked. All right, so here what you see when it comes down to Ronnie Baker,
you know,
Ronnie Baker, I would say it's kind of 50-50. Why I would say it's 50-50? Because everybody had Fred Curley to medal, right? Ronnie Baker was kind of a bronze medal-ish, right? Position. But sometimes when you factor in the fact that he doesn't really have significant experience at this level, you have to factor that in. So him finishing in that position, I wouldn't really say him choke. I would say he finished where I expected him to finish, outside of the medals, because I never had him to medal. So I was okay. I was okay with where he finished. Another one that I would say, even for that race, for that 100-meter race, because on the day I said that it was between the Italian and the Chinese. I would have loved to see the Chinese get that bronze medal.
Two things about
the Chinaman kind of went down for me.
Hold on.
Let me say 3 things quickly about you and Blake Wally. One, I thought when you said leave, you were going to say leave the sport. I was getting my expectations, so for you saying you should leave the sport. So one, you should leave.
Hold on, Devin, what are you saying?
No, as in he thought Wally was saying that.
Somebody was saying leave, and I thought he was going to say leave the sport, but I think he wants to leave on a bang, but there's no more bang for him to get.
No, man, you didn't hear what I just said, no, Devin. I was one who said that what he should do is just go and hang up those spikes. That's what I said.
Yes, definitely, I agree. So one, he should leave the sport, but two, I want to congratulate him, but on a different note, in the sense that of his business establishment that he set up in Kingston. He should focus on that now, Wally. Try to set up a next one in Montego Bay. Come Monday, where we work for money people there. Set up another similar business. Get some funds. And another thing.
So by that line of reasoning, no Jamaican male should all Jamaican males currently should do the same.
No, he has reached the highest that he can ever go. He was a silver medalist. He had run 19 close to Usain Bolt. He beat Usain Bolt twice. He's not going to achieve his best output ever again. I would suggest that
I missed the point.
I've done some real great work at Mount Olivet Boys Home, that institution that I worked with when I was teaching at Knox Community College. Continue some charity work up there. Give us some more building and stuff like that. And call it a day from tracks.
All right.
Devin,
So,
when Blake used to run against Bolt, I used to cheer for Blake, right? Because one man is supernatural, and sometimes you want the underdog to win, right? So I'm a big Blake fan. That's why I even remember the fact that them say Blake wasn't even going to qualify at the Jamaican national trials. Even when I had him to go to the Olympics, I never really had him for I never had him for a medal at the Olympics, because I know, you see, once again, it's about expectation and being realistic and not optimistic. For Blake, his injury has curtailed his career. So there was one point when Blake was going up the hill. He was rising. bar Usain Bolt. He literally rose to Mount Everest. But guess what? He hit the plateau, and then all of a sudden that plateau was very short. That plateau was only 1 centimeter. And then right after, he basically started falling down the hill.
All
Okay,
right.
he's trying to slow down, falling down the hill. But guess what? We need to understand that you see the times that Blake was capable of, he's not capable of that anymore. Not only that, because he has to go through the rounds. Levon pointed out that he ran 9.95. Yes, that's a one-off race. But to ask a man to get up and come back and run rounds, Blake does not possess that anymore. And listen, it is only if God work a miracle on him, he would literally be able to run sub 9.90 in his lifetime again. And listen, that is okay. You know why? Because him already go up the hill. And if we were to remove Usain Bolt from history, the man has been the second fastest man over the two distances. He
All right, give me a
doesn't have
talk.
anything else to accomplish.
All right, give me a talk, right? Give me a talk. Give me a talk, right? So, let's be fair now. Let's be fair to you, one, right? So at first, when everything come out now, I told Wally from day one. I said, Johan Blake will never run sub 9.9 ever again in his life, right? Not Johan's fault. The way Johan beat me coming, and we have told Wally many times, is that Johan put it on himself. Every time him come out, the beast is first he's a God-fearing man, then now he's a beast again, and now he's the best. He's in the best shape of his life, and him running fast and this and that. So when you put those kind of expectations on yourself, now you have to be ready for the same amount of criticism. That is just where it is, But Johan has done well. He picked up an injury, and he just won't ever be the beast ever again. I heard Shakes talk about Trayvon Bramwell and say Trayvon didn't choke. So,
No. I said he did. I said he did.
Oh, you said he choked. You said Ronnie Baker never choke. Kim.
I said Ronnie Baker. I said Ronnie Baker. I would say 50-50 for Ronnie Baker, but Trayvon definitely choked.
Oh yeah. So Trayvon, well, y'all know I had Trayvon to win. I had him to win the 100-meter because he has been the fastest man all season, and I don't know what happened. Ronnie Baker, I would say Ronnie Baker choke. Ronnie Baker ran 9.83 in the semis. Yeah, he ran a personal best, ran 9.83 in the semis, and then come now in the finals and run 9.9 something. Drop business.
All right, so for our viewers, you can go ahead and call the show. There's the number on the screen. It's 876-850-3189. So you guys can go ahead and call in to let your voice be heard. Your score McNamee in the comment section saying that the moment Blake downfall started was when he dropped the moniker Beast. But
hold on.
Many have said that.
All right, let me ask you guys something, right? Let's be rational and reasonable. Good. You are working at your respective companies. Good. They have a international competition. Every time they have the selection process, you are always in the top 3 for your company. But when you go on the international stage, you only reach the semi-final or you make the final, but you don't medal. You don't medal in the competition. Would you then say, well, I will no longer participate in the national aspect when you know that you are guaranteed to be in the top 3 in your company when they have that competition? Absolutely not. None of us here would do that. The line of reasoning cannot be that because you don't medal, then you should retire. When, as it relates to your individual company, you're still in the top 3.
All right. But okay, that's a good analogy, Wally. But let me give you an even better one. If I work in a company,
hold on. Don't give another analogy if you're not going to answer it. Let me answer what Wally just said. Right? Wally, I understand what you're saying. but you also have to factor in
All right, hold
the
on a
person
second.
that is entering the competition.
Hold on. I have a call on the line.
Yes,
Caller, good evening.
No
Go ahead.
problem. My
So
word.
you know who that is. So I hear the voice and know who's talking.
Crystal Gordon.
But Krista, you know that Shakes is actually a fan of yours.
My word.
So Shakes
Finally, I
is-
hear her voice.
Krista, stop hating, man. Come on.
Shakes a good youth, man.
But Shakes is actually having goosebumps right now. Finally heard his favorite person voice.
Shakes, hold on there, because Shakes, when you talk, we have to put 15 minutes here. So let's maybe say my little 2 minutes and then you can talk. There's 2 minutes alone more, right? So listen to me, Wally, right? Say for example, me working in a company, right? And I'm working in a company and I am the second best employee in the company. And then I get a brain tumor. And things just start go downhill from this. So now I come back and miraculously I come back and I'm still working in the company now, and then I am going to now come forward and say, yes, I am the best at this company. I'm the best at this company. I'm number one at this company, and nobody can beat me at this company. Obviously now it is elevated. Now everybody are going to expect a certain level from me because I put that pressure on myself. That's just the same thing with Johan. Johan had a catastrophic injury. We know him never come back, but him put that pressure. So now we as the Jamaican people, you tell me say you're running fast, 10.14. That is not good enough. That is absolutely garbage. So that is how we say.
No man, but that's not what I'm addressing.
Okay,
so,
what are you?
So clearly, if you talk up yourself, you have to deliver. And you have seen on multiple occasions where I've said, Lavon can attest to this. When he always makes these kind of statements about his back, he's not leaving with a medal. I always say to him that that is something that frustrates me about it, because you don't need to put that unnecessary pressure on yourself. Just work in silence and let your results do the talking for you.
Wally.
The analogy that I was drawing was for persons who are saying that he should retire. I am saying that it is not a logical position.
All right, Wally, your analogy is not logical either.
Right.
Hold on. What I'm saying to you is that if you are always in the top 3 in your country, why would you then say to yourself, I am not going to represent the country? If every time there's a trials up in the top 3, that is not a rational position.
Wally, remember deal with them for them, man, Wally? I just told Shakes, what you expect you want to say about himself? Him not talking up himself, don't see it as expect him, see it as giving himself confidence. It's the same way what we were talking about, a husband who's a coach going to talk up his wife. It's confidence that they think that they are putting into each other. That's what it is. So while you see it as something to be disappointed about, they don't see it that way if they don't deliver. They don't get disappointed. They really just putting confidence in themselves. That's how sports people do. That's what they do.
No, two different things. You know why? Because Shanika Ricketts has been a consistent performer for the past 2 seasons, right? She has only been second to
Don't
one
go back
woman.
here. Please, Shakes. Don't bother go back here.
Wait. Levon, Johan, tell me the last time him run 9.8. All right, Wally, tell me the last time Johan run 9.8. Chris, tell me the last time Johan run 9.8.
Long time.
Shakes, make your point, no, man. That is ridiculous.
No, I'm asking a serious question. When is the last time Johan ran 9.8?
That is not a serious question. That is not a serious question.
So hold on. The 100 meters for men, women, boys, girls, isn't it timed in seconds? I'm
When
asking
last
a
a
valid
Jamaican run
question.
9-8? When last a Jamaican run 9-8? Because you're getting serious
Hold
and
on,
asking whatever question.
hold
That's
on.
the question.
You just said I must talk about Johan Blake. Why are you talking about Jamaicans? I'm asking you about one Jamaican, and I'm being specific in asking about Blake. When is the last time to you or Wally? When is the last time Johan Blake run 9-8?
I'm not sure how that question is relevant to the point I brought across.
Because it is so simple, Wally. If somebody cannot consistently perform, right, and we are far removed from Blake's best, I don't. All right, if we're looking at the percentage, so when he used to run 9.6 and 9.7s, right, you would call him a 100% athlete. That is his best. If he's running 9.8, you can say, all right, he has fallen down to probably 85% or 90%, depending on how consistently he's doing it. If he's running 9.9 odd consistently, then we can say, all right, he's at least 70% of his best. But guess what? As Levon pointed out, the 9.95 is not something that Johan does consistently. And he has not been able to do that for the past years. So if a man goes up in age for athletics and sports, you normally don't do better, you know. We're not going to talk about Justin Gatlin. But when you go up in age, you don't perform better, right? And remember, you just mentioned that Blake had a catastrophic injury. It therefore means that the older you get, your injury can't heal properly because your body is aging. So the physiological nature and restructuring of your body will not take place. So that is also going to take its toll on his time.
So shit. Is Blake representing Jamaica? Is he doing something wrong? Because may I try to get to the point. Because we don't have no better Jamaican.
I am not. Hold on.
May I try to get to one answer.
I am not arguing that, which is why I wanted to answer Wally's question, because he asked a specific question. He asked if Blake is coming top 3 in the company, if he is to not go to the international competition. But I wanted to answer Wally by saying, guess what? Even though he might go to the international competition, it can't just be to represent. It cannot be. Because
so you want to give someone else in spot shakes? Make we get to the point
hold on. Chris, he from his own mouth is always saying that, hey, guess what? I will be doing well. I always going to do well, right? I am back to my best. That's what he keeps saying. This time he said that he would not. He would not.
That's why Levon begging him to stop
medal.
Levon, he cannot trick Levon. So that's why Levon don't even buy into it. Levon don't even think he can make the Jamaican team in the first place. It's the people who is buying into what he's saying.
That we should be accepting of the reality and just say, all right, you know what? When Johan Blake get up and qualify in top 3 and him go Olympics or World Championships, we are just going to accept if he solely makes the final.
Nor nothing there. That's what you must accept. We're not going to discuss no medals in that event for Jamaica.
I mean, Shakes went around the world and back again
to come back right here
and come back right to the point that I am making. We are not discussing whether or not he will do well at the international stage. What I am saying to you is that it is not rational. It's either we're going to say we're going to not have the 100-meter men at the national trials. If we're not going to do that, then whoever falls in the top 3 for at the national trials must represent it. It cannot make sense for you to say that you're in the top 3. You're in the top 3, but you must retire. That don't make sense.
1 second. So we have a call online. We have Dwayne online. Dwayne, go ahead, boss.
Yeah, man, what going?
Yeah, man, what going?
Yeah, listen to show my youth. Anyway, me agree with Wally, whether a man can make the final or not, he he met the team and him qualify and him run the qualified time.
Precisely.
So if them
Precisely.
want him to go to the Olympics, them need to have people who have beat him. If the man qualifying, he
Simple.
deserve to run.
Simple.
Whether we
Precisely. Excellent. Well done, dude. Well done. Excellent.
Because the thing with we you know, sometimes we over expect things from the athlete, right? We need to understand that the man comes from an injury where many others have never came back from. And for him come back and still go below sub 10 is unbelievable. With one grateful man. That me not like with Jamaican. Enough of them already come up fan, you know. They never remember the days when Jamaicans are celebrate making finals. We used to celebrate making finals, but they are spoiled now, and I've been warning people all along, right? We had our golden generation with Colt, and the females them have always over our expectations, and the man them we might have one and two come true now and then. But if we check the history of Jamaican track and field, and the female them and a one man always have been on the vehicles in Jamaica.
Dwayne,
And yes, sir.
can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
And let me make this disclaimer. I'm not in the camp that Wally's talking about where people are asking Blake to retire. But let me ask you this specific question. Do you believe that if Blake were to continue, for the people that are now calling for him to retire and pack up, do you believe that Blake would be satisfied with qualifying for the World Championships and Olympics each time and not medaling? Would you believe that he would be satisfied with that?
No, I don't think he would be satisfied with that. But is the man.
Dwayne, let her help you. Asafa was satisfied with going to these places well fit and not medaling. He went there every time and did fit. Blake is nowhere near Johan Blake. This is not no Johan Blake that we know. Asafa was doing it. So I don't see what the big thing about Johan Blake, you know. Asafa went to these major championships, fit as ever, and zero. Blank. One world championship. We get a bronze. I would say thank you.
You're talking about a serial choker now versus Blake.
No, but just as I said, don't pressure Johan, brother. Do not pressure because
Dwayne,
you see, because
he
he can make the team, it's hard to criticize him.
All right, Dwayne, what I don't want to bring across to, because I heard him mention something earlier, but you see the thing is, this when they reach at a high level, you don't expect it to just drop way down dramatically. You don't expect to see that fluctuate. It's just a case. All right, you're a Manchester United supporter. Did you expect United to just go way downhill from Fergie retire? Come on, Dwayne. I never expected that, man.
No way.
All right, we seem to have lost Dwayne, but
like West Indies cricket went down, Manchester United went down. It's just a cycle. That's why we can't find. We're having a cycle right now with 100-meter runners. We can't find any.
West Indies cricket has been done before you're born, boss.
All right, this is my final say on this topic because I want to move on as well. Wally, the analogy that you drew for, I don't necessarily agree with it. I Shakes was somewhat getting into it. Reason being, remember that as an athlete, right? The older you get, the less likely it is for you to perform. While in a business, remember that the older you be sometimes, the more knowledge you would have to grasp your particular area in that field. So I don't agree with the analogy that you drew for.
No, the analogy is spot on because every time the assessment period comes, he is in the position to represent the country. That's the point. So
but you're not getting what I'm saying, Wally. Are you satisfied?
Yeah, but Wally, you can't go to the tournament and know say, oh, you cannot and will not get first place because you would literally need 5 man to drop down dead, or you don't need 5 man to get injured till you come first.
So we should scrap the men's 100-meter until the standard come up.
All that too.
Because there's nobody outside of you and Blake who you're going to say is going to make the final. Nobody at this particular.
But you and Blake not making the final, so I'm not going to say you and Blake is going to. I wouldn't.
But that is making the point. That is making the point. The point is you cannot be asking a man who is making the top 3 to not represent the country on the basis that he's not going to make the final or going to drop out at the semi-final when there is nobody else doing better. So if that is the basis, then let us scrap the men's 100 meter until the standard go.
Can we just do a poll on can we just do a poll on this panel and ask who think that that Blake must retire? Because I don't believe he should retire. That's just me. I know Wally also.
Right,
and
David, I find the
what
word
they
that I
arguing,
was searching for earlier on. The word that I was searching for was sanity. Young Blake should just hang up his spikes and save his sanity. That is what I should have said. But let's move on to another disappointment because that's what
more I touch the sorry, Levon. More I touch the Taji again.
Hold on. Doing. You have something else to say? He's back.
Yeah, man. We go back to the Manchester United. Remember, Sir Alex was making blood out of stone, you know. With the time.
Man, really comfort, man.
Well
Yeah,
done.
however, I still never expected that dramatical fall down. That's the thing.
No. But I knew that the team would drop from Sir Alex left because other teams had more quality players than Manchester United. But it was just the genius of Sir Alex. After he left, you realize that some of them man were they never really that good. I just the coach.
So that's what I tell us that, all right, so we can draft the analogy say, yeah, because Bold in the boat why Blake was so good. Bolt gone out, so Blake has gone back to where he should have been.
Nah, disagree. Because his injuries mash up Blake.
If he never had such a terrible injury and then drop off a farm, then I would say, yeah, him choke. But coming back from that, not many athletes could have come back from that injury.
Yeah, but the thing is that none of us are saying that he actually choked, because I never expected anything from him. As I said, he wouldn't have made the final. That's what I said, and my prediction just came to be correct because I just look on it from an analytical standpoint and not from an emotional standpoint, and that's where I made my assessment.
Yeah, because trust me, I don't know who coaching him, but him look way better at Frenzzyy. That's how he look now in terms of farm.
Yeah, his farm is awful, man.
Yeah,
Levon, you remember that race at the trials? You guys even commented on his form, his running style at the trials.
Yeah.
And also shakes the fact that I realized that it eats up to 100 meter and at trials as well. It takes very long to hold up his head. When
in terms of get out of the dry phase. It takes
phase.
very long to get out of the dry phase.
Yeah.
But we're going to move on from you and Blake because
Please.
yeah, because all right, blessings doing and continue to support the show, MG. All right. As I said, we have a lot of disappointments to get through, so I want to move through them quickly because time is going and I want you guys to go and watch some Olympics as well. So Tajay Gale, first up.
Me want someone up on that one.
All right, so, yeah, Wally, go ahead.
Yeah, there is a fine line between heroism and madness. You have a major competition next year. There is no way the medical staff should have left it up to Tajay to make the determination as to whether or not he competed further on. He already displayed his heroism in making the final. There is no need for him to do any more jumping. It was madness. Every time he went down the runway, I was cringing. There was absolutely no need for that. There is no way with the injury that he had, he could have medaled. So it was basically him trying to show up. No, sir.
Nah.
He could have. Remember, let's
you just have
rational
the
right here,
controversy.
right?
No, Levon, you just have the controversial. Yes, sir.
Listen,
You
listen,
are somebody who look at
I'm being
things and assess
100% serious right now. The
No,
guy that
no,
won the
Levon.
bronze medal, you know.
No, sir. No.
You know what was his jump?
No. Mm-mm.
You know what was his jump?
What was his jump? Tell me now.
8.21 meters. That was his jump. So had Tajay Gale had one jump in him, the possibility exists that he could have medal.
And he could have ended his career as well.
Exactly, Devin. Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
All right. So I'm going to go by what the athlete said. The man said, guys, you need not to worry. He's okay.
No, the athlete will always say that, you know. The athlete will always
very
say
much
it.
so. Very much so.
That is why in the NFL, just to draw a parallel to another sport. That's why the NFL, when a player gets a hit to the head, they execute the concussion protocol and they use the medical doctors to do an assessment to determine whether the player should come on the field or not. Because that player, especially with all the marbles on the line, is going to put his health aside and say, I want this so bad, to hell with health. I can figure it out afterwards. So you have to protect the athlete from himself.
But Wally, you're saying that he shouldn't have come.
Being in the medical profession can tell you that.
All right, so Wally, to what you said, right? You're saying that they shouldn't have let him compete in the final. First up, if I was
he shouldn't have.
No, but listen, if I was his handlers, I would have pulled him from the qualification where he was actually feeling for that injury. I wouldn't have let him try to go and reach the finals. And some people have been spreading misinformation. It's incorrect information, I should say. Tajay Gale won't collect any money for reaching the finals with the 12. You collect money when it's the top 8. He wasn't inside the top 8, so he won't get any money from it. So that is part of the reason why, who knows? I'm not saying he was doing it for the money, but yeah.
Levon, what are you saying? Because you're saying you're thinking he could have gotten a medal. Then you're saying if you were his handlers, you wouldn't have pulled him from the earlier rounds prior to the final.
Two separate arguments. I'm saying if I was his handlers, I would have pulled him from the qualification round. No, they have allowed him to get through the qualification round and he's now in the finals. So I'm addressing him in the finals.
You're addressing him in the finals and saying he could have medal in the finals.
Yeah, one good jump and that's it.
Even though it's two separate things, that those two arguments can be combined to say if you're his handlers, because that means from your perspective, even though you are in the handlers, you're seeing that from your perspective, sitting there, it was a serious injury. That's why you said if you were his handlers.
Actually, he himself said so Devin, I'm going by what I heard. I heard it's not as serious as we think it is. I heard it's a strain of the hamstring. It's not actually a tear or anything like that. It's just a strain. That's what I'm hearing.
Who did you hear that from?
Sources that all over.
Based on the jump that he took to make the final 11, it was always, I knew you would have went for it again. The fact that you're injured and jump and make the final, it tells you that you're going to try it again. That's what your body is naturally telling you to do. That's why I knew he would have done that. I'm not surprised. I'm not saying he should have done it or shouldn't do it. It was up to him and his handlers, and I guess.
So we have another caller on the line. Good evening, caller. Welcome to the show.
Good evening, Andrew.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, I hear the horse and he was spreading misinformation, but he's doing the same thing because you don't get no money at the Olympics. You get money to the top 8 at the world champions, not the Olympics.
Okay, if that's the case, I stand corrected.
Yeah, man. You say people are giving wrong information, but you do the same. But you don't get the Olympics. You don't get the Olympics. You get that world championship. You get money from $60,000.
Yeah, here.
So I didn't hear that. So what is it that?
Sorry, what you said,
Levon. I actually spread false information as well because at the Olympics, top 8 don't actually collect any money. It's actually the World Championship.
So what you collect at the Olympics?
Nothing.
Nothing.
You don't collect anything at the Olympics, Devin. What
I
they
think
do
it's only for the world
for
record.
world championships. What at the Olympics, the governments of respective countries will actually compensate their athletes if they perform well or sponsor.
You earn some meat when you go to the Olympics. People get to know you earn some meat in
Oh
Europe.
yeah. Okay, definitely. Okay.
All right, thanks for the correction, Bossman.
Yeah, man. Respect for that.
As I was saying, where are we again?
Kaji.
Yeah, I was saying that. Going by what we read, and yeah, Chris, I remember now. Chris, you said that from you saw that jump in the qualification, you know that you knew that you would have went for it, right?
Yeah, because naturally, why would you jump to qualify and don't jump again? That would make no sense if you're looking at it that way. You get what I'm saying? You
Yeah,
jump injured and qualify, so it tells you that you're going to try. You're going to try now. You're in the final. You have no other thing to do but do it.
So, Chris, stop talking from the perspective of the jumper. What do you think? You think it was a good move by him? I understand you're trying to justify his
Because
move.
I don't understand the nature of the injury, then I have to say I support it. Like, I don't know the nature of it. I don't know how damaging it's going to be to him. He didn't look that bad. It didn't look that bad to me, especially in the final. If it was that bad, he wouldn't look so fast down the track. He was running fast, and I'd want that first jump that he fouled. If he didn't foul that jump, I think that would have been his only jump because it would have been good enough to put him into the first hit. But I think that was the plan and it didn't work. And he went for two more and it just didn't work.
This is the last thing I'm going to say on Taji. I know the doc have something to say and other people may say something. So, based on how I saw it and what I know about long jump, the run up on everything, that's there. But once you get that elevation and you land on your knee, right, and I see his knees strapped up, that's where you start feeling the pain. And I'm thinking, once you take off from the board and you land, that's going to have serious implications on your knee. So the way, even though you may feel some type of way, as the medical staff, I just thought they should not have allowed him to compete in the final.
Absolutely not.
That's all I have to say.
All right, Shakes, I want to ask you a question. In terms of kinesia tape, right? Does kinesia tape have some sort of stiffness with or it allows you to move freely? Shakes,
you're muted.
Shakes, start the connection and return. But as I was saying, that we don't exactly know what he was going through, so on that basis, then can't really say. As I said, we have quite a few things to get to, so I want to do it quickly so we can get it out of the way. Next up, we had Sherika Jackson. Boy. Oh boy. I don't even really want to talk about it because each time I watch the race and then I have to talk about it, it becomes so much more.
No, man, you have to kick it off, you know. Jack, your girl, you know.
Yeah, but
if anybody thinks Shanika Ricketts was disappointed, then if that's not the most disappointing thing in the Olympics, then I don't know what is for Jamaica.
And that means I heard that to Chris.
All right, so Shakes, you're back. Still not hearing your Shakes.
Not hearing your Shakes. You're muted.
All right, so yeah, as I was saying, Wally, if you were following up on it, you'd have seen where Kim's asked me that. Is that still jackpot? And I actually switched. I said it's not jackpot, it's Jack ASS. Because what he did there was literally.
Oh gosh, you can't beat her so bad, dog.
Serious, man. So Shakes, Shakes?
Nah, yeah, still.
Alright, there's a problem with Shakes. But yeah, to allude to that, Wally, I was saying it was a jackass move, man.
Oh gosh, sure.
That wasn't jackpot, and mind you, this is an athlete that I actually love. So nobody can come at me and say, "Oh, when the girl look good, no follow her, when she do bad, no kill her." This is actually an athlete that I love.
It's reasonable criticism. Anybody don't understand that? They don't understand. It's reasonable criticism.
It's not reasonable, Chris. Let's use the correct term. It's constructive criticism. She made a stupid move and it cost her a place of moving on. No,
she knows that.
Yeah, this one, there's no argument for this one. Yeah.
Yeah, like there,
How you explain? How
you
you explain
can't
that?
fall on the other side of this one. Anybody
Yeah.
fall on the other side of
Yeah,
this?
yeah, trust me.
But, but, but,
You're leading at 100 meters, right?
but,
You're leading in at 180. You're top two. How do you end up finishing fourth? By basically shutting it down totally from 180.
Well, let me defend Sherika Jackson here, all right?
Defend. She don't even defend herself. So you go.
Let me defend Sherika Jackson here, right? Sherika Jackson was given specific instructions from her coach, and the instructions were: you jog 100 meter, you go into third place, and you stay in third and you finish third. That is the thing. It never say win it. It never say finish second. Man say finish third. That was the specific instructions both Elaine and Sherika got. Specific instructions. If you don't believe me, go watch Bruce James' interview on TVJ and he'll let you know. That's the specific instructions, right? So now, Sherika now being the student of the sport, is following instructions. So
She didn't follow it.
so she said, "Oh no!" So she said to come in third. So when she was in second, she not push anymore. She's just tracking back to finish the third. The only thing what happened is that the other athlete mess up the plot and just dip, and the athlete they finished third and she finished fourth. So I wouldn't put all the blame on Sherika Jackson. The blame would more go to the coaching staff, because if it's me, I'm saying Sherika, go out.
Qualify.
Go out and qualify. That is what me I say. Qualify for the semi-finals.
Run the first 100 jump now.
All right. So what I would advise her to do? Go out, finish top 3. I'm not going to tell her to finish third. Finish top 3, and that's it. So what I want to get at is that you're saying that you're going to put the blame on the coach, right, Kems? However,
Yes, sir.
as a professional athlete at the age of 27 years old,
Exactly.
you're given the direct orders from your coaching staff that finish third in the race.
Yes.
Now, if you're professional and you've been in this situation before, not necessarily what I'm discussing in terms of finishing third or anything like that. I'm talking about the environment in terms of Olympics and on the major stages, right? Now, you as an athlete, all you need to do is just check over your shoulders. That is what a reasonable athlete will do. Check over your shoulders to ensure that nobody is going to pass you. Did you see her doing any of that?
Well,
Yes or no, Kebs? Why you trying to yes or no?
Chris Lynch.
You cannot defend her. Are you blaming her coach? You're blaming her coach for what?
Chris Lynch, show some decorum, Chris Lynch. All right, the host is talking. Let the host talk. You just keep quiet over there, Mr. Lynch. All right. What you say, Levon? Ask me the question again, sir, please.
You let the man try your guard totally, yeah?
Someone was going to answer the question and then want to hear it again.
All right, so Sherika Jackson is a professional athlete. She has been in this atmosphere before on the world stage.
Yes.
No, you've been in that position before, right? Why is it that you were given a direct instruction? Say, okay, I'm quoting you what you said, finish third.
Yes, and
why at any point in time, did you saw her look over her shoulders to actually say, yes, I'm actually in third position, to say, okay, I can qualify from right here? Did you see
so no, I didn't see her look over her shoulders, but I believe that she just thought she was just so comfortable. She just thought she was so comfortable that, okay, because she looked at the field, she surveyed the field, she said, boy, these girls are really slow. These girls can't beat me. These girls are really slow. So to finish third in this field is too easy. So when the Bahamian girl win, and then the next girl comes second, so she thinks, all right, this is easy, third place. Let me just cruise and go through. Because you see, she not even dip or anything at all. The same thing with Elaine. When Elaine run, you never see Elaine look over her shoulders either. If you watch back that heat, Elaine never.
Different cases, because guess what? Elaine was aware of what she did. Sherika wasn't aware any at all, and Kems also. It was said that Sherika was given the same instruction for the 100-meter heats. She did what was expected there. Why is it that she couldn't do it on this occasion?
Well, that's a question for Sherika, boss. I don't know.
Levon, just let her tell you.
There's no defense of her.
I can't.
There's
I
big
can't defend her
screens in
anymore,
the
boss.
there's big screens in the she don't need to even look over her shoulder. She's looking at a screen right in front of her that Ilian used to view the field. If you look at Ilian race, you know that she's viewing the field from a television in front of her. Sharika didn't even do that.
True.
Kems just said what Sharika did was comfortable. How can you be comfortable if you don't know your surrounding? You cannot
Okay,
be comfortable.
so did she look uncomfortable?
What she did was what Levant said. It was very stupid, brother. She didn't know about her surrounding. How you coming to blame
She
coach?
wasn't aware any
And
at
she
all.
and she admit to it. How can she admit to something and
Why-
are you giving
why is-
coach some blame?
Rush Cadillac, we're talking about the heats, not the semifinals. We're talking about the heats.
How
Ilian
can we
never
talk
run-
about the Eats and it's not the
No.
Eats that she get
Now
disqualified
he's
from?
responding to a comment.
I'm responding to a comment, Chris Lynch.
Oh.
Calm down. No, you're a little bit too. Just calm down, boss. I'm responding to a comment, boss, man.
So you have to say that.
Actually, he's right in the Kims. Rashka is actually right.
Ilian ran.
Run the first 100 of her heat.
No, she did not.
Come on, Kim. She did run the first 100.
Of the heat?
The heat where she came third. I wouldn't say she went full blood, but she did do something in that first 100.
Not at all.
All right,
Not.
okay. All right, I'm going to say something on that, right?
Yes, sir.
Rita.
As a matter of fact, good night. Good night, producer. Give me some
Good
greetings,
night.
producer. Good night.
Greetings, Kims, and everybody.
Yes, sir.
Sharika did misjudge that race very, very badly. It was a horrible mistake, right? As for Elaine did not run that 100. Elaine did not run that heat any at all, even including the 100 meter. But this is where I realized that Elaine was more focused in the race, right? There was a part in the race in the last 100 meter where she realized that the fourth athlete, the athlete that was in fourth, right, was coming on to her. And then she got another gear. She speed up. I was even fretting because I was saying like,
yes, producer. You are correct.
Into another gear. Why did
you are correct, producer? You are correct. Great.
No, the difference is that Sharika wasn't aware.
That's the difference. That's what I'm trying to say to Kim. Sharika was
aware,
but Elaine was
aware.
Apparently, I agree with Chris. Apparently, Elaine was like looking at this on the screen.
It's obvious.
He was coming onto her, and then she kicked into another gear.
Levon, I was just trying to defend her. I know what she did was stupid. I was just trying, but I failed miserably. All right, but also, hold on.
Thank you, Ken. Thank you, Ken. Let
me talk, Shakes. Shakes, let me talk before you talk. And when you start talking, different vibes. Hey, so one thing at Levon.
But you already talked about Sharika already.
Hold on, Shakes, man. One thing more I address Levon. A lot of persons are saying that Sharika sell the race in order to run on the relay. Can people just please stop that?
People are saying
that she sell the race in order to run on the relay to help the relay.
Absolute rubbish.
But guys, we have 10 minutes to go, so make your speeches as short as possible.
Yeah, we can't
Shakes, 10 minutes that. Go on, Shakes.
Sharika, simple. Sharika, Levon, Sharika. I don't know what Kems was trying, but as he said, he was just trying to give a little false defense of Sharika. Listen, we always talk about tactical awareness when it comes on to football. It's simple for Sharika. Situational awareness. She showed none. If you are in lane 2, they only use lane 2 to 9 at the Olympics. It therefore means that everybody else is on the right of your shoulder. It therefore means you don't have to look left and right. You only need to look one direction, which is to your right. So all she had to do in the race was look to her right. She started the race bad because guess what? She never ran any of the race in the first place. She jogged the entire race. Now, when it comes on to deceleration during a race, if you're not going fast, you definitely won't be decelerating fast. Because if you're jogging, it means that if you need to play catch up, you will actually have to go much faster because you were never ever going fast. So in that race, she showed poor situational awareness, right? Not only that, Chris said it was very stupid. I would call it possibly the dumbest thing I've ever witnessed in any major sport, you know, and this is why I say this, right? This is it. When you think about it, the race that she ran it in 23:26. Let that sink in. 23:20, not 22:26, you know, 23:26. All those other athletes, if they had come to the Jamaican trials, they wouldn't even probably be in the finals of our trials, right? So those people were literally running out their hearts to get into the top 3. Meanwhile, we had somebody that we believe would have been on the medal podium. It therefore means that, listen, as some people normally say, when you come from Jamaica, we're supposed to can beat them running back way. Sherika was supposed to be able to beat those runners running back way in that heat. So when you think that, okay, she get up and literally do that and come forth, my word, man, tell me something in history that is worse than that. Find something. Kems can probably find something that is worse in history than that.
I was asking a question that you weren't able to answer to because of your microphone effects. But question to you. I was asking that as a doctor, does kinesio make your knee or wherever it's put more stiffer? Well, Shake's gone again. It seems like I shouldn't ask him that question. All right, so let's move on. On something more celebratory. No, we saw surname Megan Tapper getting a bronze medal in that 100 meter. And if anybody deserve it, it's certainly Megan Tapper, and she got a bronze medal in that 100 meter hurdles. Congrats to her, man. And I mean, Megan Tapper is a whole vibe, man. That post race interview, man. Let's have to give hats off to her. Well, anything from any of you guys?
Yeah, you must big up Christopher Taylor also.
Yeah, I'm going to, man. You have to give Chris Taylor some props, man, for making that final. First time in 17 years that a Jamaican man has made it to a major final, and I mean, you have to give it to him, man. But here's what I want you guys to do. I want you guys to make your prediction for the 400 meter finals. I'm going to start with Wally. The hurdles? 400 hurdles? 400 meter hurdles on men. I'm sure that what he's going to say War Machine. I'm sure.
No, so initially I had War Machine, you know, but when I looked at that semi-final, Benjamin looked more comfortable, and you could see that psychologically Benjamin is in his head because there was no need for War Machine to run him down and kind of try and send a message if he was confident that he had the edge over him in terms of, you know, matching up when it comes to the final.
This is a man that don't like to lose. This man, no matter what, this man is going to try to beat you. And I watched the race and I also heard other people's perspective, but the difference between all that I've seen and what Warham normally do, Warham is a man that runs some gun to tape. I never saw him did that in that race. Warham never really run the first 300 meters of that race for me.
The thing is that how I see it, I give Benjamin the edge, because if you look at Elaine in her heats, she knows she has it, and she said, all right, don't go on. I just need to get through. So if those two were far and away, there was like maybe at least a 10-meter gap between themselves and the rest of the field. And if you are confident that you have this person ticket, then there's no need to try and send a psycho message by beating them. I would give Benjamin a slight edge over Warren with Dos Santos for third.
All right, Chris, give me a prediction quickly.
Sounds like me and Wally was watching the race at the same place.
I disagree with you guys too.
Benjamin, I go with Benjamin and the Warman second and Dos Santos third also.
All right, Devin.
No, earlier a previous show, I went with War Room, War Machine, and I'm sticking with him, and I have Benjamin for second. I'm not gonna change.
All right, Shakes, you there now? Shakes, stuck on
Yeah,
the
man, I'm
seat.
here.
All
I
right,
want
yeah,
the lanes.
I'm not currently seeing it. I'll have to check it, but I'm not seeing
Oh,
it.
you're not
So,
seeing the lanes?
no. But let's just
Okay.
your man at prediction.
But I was just gonna say to what Wally said. Yeah, probably Warholm wanted to finish ahead of Benjamin so that he got a lane on the inside of Benjamin so that he could actually see what Benjamin is doing in the finals. But I'll go with Warholm.
Ahead of Benjamin and the Santos on third.
We have
Correct.
okay.
All right, so yeah, I agree with Devin and Shakes. That's my prediction. No, because we won't have a show to discuss about the 200-meter final sprint run tomorrow. I just want the prediction solely for that. So I'm going to start with Shakes this time around. For the women's 200-meter, give me your prediction.
Oh, Elaine, 21-41.
Second and third.
You don't want the second and third?
Shake, second and third.
Oh, you want second and third? I'll go with Shelly second, and Shawnee third.
Okay, Devin.
Elaine one, the Bahamian Miller second, and Price third.
Chris.
Elaine, Shelley, and I'm going with Shawnee.
Well, I don't need to ask Wally, because I already know Wally prediction, but because other people don't know I'm going to say it, I can't say it. So Wally expect ET to win ahead of Shelley and man, the fourth place specialist to actually sneak in for the brands. We're talking about
Precisely so. Exactly so.
Who Wally has for third?
Mario Zetalu.
Oh,
Talu.
impossible.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Quickly.
Kem.
Quickly, Kem. So first place is obviously obvious.
Elaine.
Second place will be the girl from Namibia or she.
Namibia.
Yeah,
Oh.
she. Third place.
Mabo. When you?
Mboa.
Mboa, yeah.
Yeah. Third place would be Shawnee.
Oh my goodness, yo!
All right, guys. So, are your my picks now?
Go ahead.
Yes, sir.
First place, Elaine. Second place, Shelley. And third place, Gabby Thomas.
No, Gabby Thomas have zero chance. Zero chance.
Listen to this, Kems. No one that run 21.61 for the season cannot finish outside of the top two.
Okay,
Remember, say
well,
Bromley run
all right.
970.
Okay. All right, Josh.
You produce that in a year. Anything that happens in Eugene stays where?
Bromley run is like Vegas. Eugene is a Vegas for track and field.
Hey, but Josh, you want to put a little bet on that, Josh?
Kem.
Beauty and brains will come straight tomorrow.
Yo,
Next show you have to get a beat if Elaine.
She's brains.
Sorry, let the producer go.
She's beautiful.
Kev, what a beat you still in a car. You're not pick Shelly and Shelly are sure
Yeah, man,
second
you
tomorrow. You know.
Shelly medal, man. One Shelly medal you have to get a beat.
Shelly
And
can't
guess
go
what?
second tomorrow.
Jamaica going to get what they want. Elaine and Shelly will hug after this one too. So Jamaica will get what they want finally.
Because
They want friendship. They want friendship and hugs and all of that. So they're going to
Shelly
get.
can't run 21-7. Shelly can't run 21-7 right here, so that have to stay at
Alright.
Jamaica.
So Kems, here what? In the next 12 hours and around, I should say,
Well, get a 1-3. Remember,
the next 12 hours and 13 minutes, we'll come to that conclusion.
Yes, sir. Definitely, sir. Can't wait.
And I'm going to say this: if Elaine does run through that tape, Shakes went overboard by saying 21-41.
Olympic record.
I say it no. Olympic record is far fetched, brother.
Olympic record is the world record.
Come on,
Yeah, 23-4.
The Olympic record is the same as the world record, 21-34.
Yeah, that's not gonna go. I don't
Never. The woman to broke that never born.
As for me, I see 21-4 on the cards if she run through if she gets a perfect start. Well, not necessarily perfect, but a start like she got in the semis. and then she just run right through. I see a 21.4 on the cards.
21.
So what you say, 21-41 like me?
No, I'm not going way down there, man.
21-41, Devon?
2150s. 2150s. Yeah,
21 I
Shakes.
or 21.
She's running between
21.5
21, 45 and 21.
No, not at all. Not at. We want to get this thing from. You crazy? She cannot run that. She's not running that fast. She will
As I
run
was saying, James, in the next
You guys too excited.
21.56.
Like you guys too
21.56.
excited talking about 21-4. That's excitement at highest level.
21.56. That is what Elaine will run.
I
as
agree
I was
with that.
saying though, and I think you agree. I said 21.4 high or 21.5 low. That's just my expectation.
21.5
I agree. I agree with that.
21.5 high.
All right.
So
Stephanie McPherson for the goal. All right. Stephanie McPherson
yeah, man,
for the goal.
and this is where we're going to end the show because, as I said, there's going to meet a woman on track. Now, guys, tomorrow we'll be here at 8:30 a.m. for some post-race celebration, and I'm sure that Kems isn't going to come here in a garbage bag or anything like that because this girl is doing well. So I expect Kems to be here popping bottles and all of that. So, guys, thanks again for tuning in, and until tomorrow, see you. Take care. Thanks to our producer and all the guys that are on the panel. And I ensure that I return tomorrow again to panelists.
Yes,
Tell people to subscribe, man, and tell them friends to subscribe, you know?
Yeah, man.